Hey YouTube, it's Alicia here from Alicia's Life. I'm here to recap The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 7. This is Episode 1. So the show opens up with Kyle in her new room converted into a closet. I don't know if you remember last season, she kicked Mauricio's exercise equipment out or confiscated that room to make it into her personal closet. And it looks pretty good. I wish they would have given us a little tour of it so we could see the whole thing. But anyway, we got a glimpse. And she and Lisa Vanderpump are talking about meeting up at Pump. And I like Kyle's new cut and color. It's cute. We move on to Erica Jane and her husband talking about her birthday that's coming up. And she looks amazing. She's about to be 45. She looks really, really good. So her husband gives her a painting by a painter that he likes. And it looks more like the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve. And then he gave her a picture of a ring that he has on order for her. It's a panther ring that's worth $78,000 from Cartier. There's apparently only 3 in existence. And now she has 2 of the 3. And she's hunting down the 3rd one. Oh, and by the by, that painting by that artist, she said any of his paintings could easily go for $1 million. And she made sure to clarify, is this painting for me or for us? So, things go south in the relationship. She's claiming that asset for herself. So Lisa Vanderpump is up next. She has a new puppy dog named Harrison. It's actually in her little introduction picture, so she's kind of kicked Jiggy to the curb. But, Ken's still walking around with Jiggy, so he's not completely forgotten. But she's got a new love. So, wow, we've just been introduced to Dorit and her husband PK. They joined the Vanderpumps at Pump. And apparently, the Vanderpumps knew PK for years when he was married to somebody else. And so Lisa Vanderpump just shadily said that Dorit is an upgrade. I mean, I'm assuming she has no more relationship with the ex-wife, but dang. So this was a very long dinner scene introducing PK and Dorit to us and giving a brief background on how they met at a wedding in Turks and Caicos. Well, I think that's how they met Lisa Vanderpump. But they've only been married about 1.5 years, and they've been together 5 years. They did briefly touch on Dorit's accent, which I also was curious about because she kind of sounded English, but then she'd sound American. She kept going in and out. So it sounds like she said she likes languages. So she speaks a little bit of Hebrew, maybe a little bit of Spanish, different things. So I guess when she speaks, she kind of just floats in and out of things. So I'm kind of glad they addressed that because I was wondering too. It just dawned on me that when we last left Lisa Vanderpump and Kyle Richards, there was some sort of accusation Kyle was making about Lisa Vanderpump lying, and it seemed like there was going to be a rift in their friendship, and Kyle was turning on Lisa and all this other stuff. But now that the season has started, Kyle is firmly in Lisa Vanderpump's camp. It seems she knows that Lisa Vanderpump is the favorite of everyone, and that probably will never change. So no matter how Kyle feels about Lisa Vanderpump personally, she's always going to stay aligned with her on the show. Perfect. They just did a little recap of last season and the Dubai trip about what happened. And Lisa Rinna accused Lisa Vanderpump of saying something negative about Yolanda's health. And that is where all of the kerfuffle came from because Lisa Vanderpump denied it. And Lisa Rinna was insisting that there was something that went on, and Eileen backed her up, and it was just, it really spiraled out of control. So that is how Kyle also was trying to co-sign too, saying, yes, Lisa, you said XYZ, and that's what I was recalling. All the details were kind of fuzzy, but now that they've reminded me, I was like, yeah, that's right. So we finally see Lisa Rinna, and Harry Hamlin has bought her this brand new beautiful car. I don't know cars, so I don't know what it is, so sorry. It looks expensive, and it looks beautiful. And Lisa tells us that her father passed away in January, which is very sad because we saw his health deteriorating. We saw him in the home, and so that was sad news. And she said that because of his passing, it's giving her a new perspective on life. She doesn't have time for drama, BS, any of that stuff she doesn't have time for. So how many of us already know she's going to be knee-deep in it this season? She's already letting us know by pretending she won't be involved because she doesn't have time. She's going to have all the time. We finally see Eileen. She looks amazing. She finally got that hair together, and I am loving it. She must have seen herself on this show for 2 seasons and decided, look, I got to get it together. I'm looking kind of homely for a professional actress. I need to get the hair together, the outfit together. I'm in Beverly Hills, man. Plus, I'm sure those checks are not hurting because I heard she gets $750,000 per season. That's a lot of money. So she can afford to upgrade the look. Now, I've also heard that her husband has a gambling problem. I hope that's not true, but maybe he's got that under control. And so if it's true, he has it under control so she can spend some money on her look. So she looks great. Eileen is meeting up with Erica Girardi, also known as Erica Jane, and Erica brings up the fact that Eileen lost her mother, and apparently she lost her during the reunion. She didn't want that to cloud anything, and she didn't even let anybody know that her mother passed away. That is so sad to me. So we have Eileen losing her mother, which is probably around March, when that reunion was, March of 2016, and then Lisa Rinna lost her dad in January of 2016. 2016 has been horrible. So Eileen also is saying that it has also colored her outlook on life, how she's going to interact with Lisa Vanderpump. So we'll see. We'll see. Very sad news. So Kyle comes in and she joins Erica and Eileen, and there's a brief discussion about Yolanda and how is she, how's her health. She's supposed to be 75% better. Then they move on to talking about Lisa Vanderpump. How does Erica feel about her? How does Eileen feel about her? They both swear they're fine with her. There will be no problems. They're all moving on. So we will see. So Dorit is friends with Boy George, and Boy George is also friends with the Vanderpumps, I believe. Some kind of way they all know each other. And I'm starting to think that maybe Boy George wanted to be on the show, and that's why he pushed Dorit forward, because we've already seen him in a couple of scenes, and it's only week 1. So next we get to learn a little bit more about Dorit. She has 2 children, a little boy named Jagger, who's a little over 2 years old, and a little girl named Phoenix, who's only 4.5 months old. And I thought Kristen Takeman has a son named Jagger too. How coincidental. And I think he's 4 though. But anyway, they also go into this long story about Boy George living there, how he's part of the family, how he's a godfather, how he's Uncle George and not Boy George. Like I said, I think he wanted to be on the show. So he pushed forward this couple that he lives with, who's also friends with Kyle. I meant to say, I was thinking of Kyle before. So we'll see how much more of Boy George we'll see. Oh, and by the way, although it wasn't made very clear what Dorit does for a living, she has 3 full-time housekeepers. Jagger has a nanny. Phoenix has a nanny and a baby nurse. And then there's, I think she said 2 other nannies that fill in. She's a full staff, and she uses her husband's assistant. So she said she's not laying in bed eating bonbons all day, but she needs a staff of 5. But aside from representing Boy George at Jimmy Kimmel that night, it wasn't made clear what else she does that she needs a staff of 5. But good for her. Good for her. So we're back to Erica Jane. She's getting ready for a birthday party. She's decided on a Studio 54 theme. And I will say, they're giving her husband like a softer edit this year, because the one he got last year, he was very stern with her, very rigid, ordering her around, treating her like a child. And this year, their relationship seems more relational. Like, he's joking, he's smiling, she's speaking her mind. I mean, I guess somebody got an image consultant or something, because it looks like they did a 180 on this relationship. So I'm very confused. There's a lady named Sharon, aka Blank Control, Pussy Control, that supposedly Prince gave her this name. They did a whole thing about it. I'm curious now. Like, I remember the song, but not enough. And I'm wondering why they hired this lady to come and stand at the gate and hand out champagne. Because if you would think that if there was a song written about her by the late Prince, she wouldn't be the hired help. She'd be doing something else, right? I'm very confused. Are y'all confused? So we get to Erica's party. She really pulled out all the stops. She's got these ladies that are dressed as her. They're singing her song Painkiller. She makes a grand entrance. All the ladies are dressed up in their Studio 54 gear. The tall platform heels, but like the stiletto heel, but then the platform base. They have on this glittery disco dresses. There's disco balls everywhere. It looks like it's going to be a good time for everyone. I can't believe I'm only halfway through this show. I feel like I've been watching this show for an hour and a half. It feels like a long episode. Did it seem long to you guys? I think Erica Jane's husband's change of attitude towards her, or it looks like he's changed his attitude towards her is because she was saying in the beginning that her career has really skyrocketed. Her sales are up, her popularity's up, her songs are rising on the charts quickly. So I think maybe because of her fame and popularity and people really like her, it might have raised his estimation of her in his eyes. Because I think when they met, wasn't she like a waitress in a strip club or something? I don't remember. So he might have really had her low in his estimation, but now people love her and adore her. He has more respect for her. That's what I think. That's what it looks like. That is so cool. Eileen gave Erica a part on The Young and the Restless for her birthday gift. You can just do that? You can just hand out parts like that if you're on the show? Like, I really need to meet Eileen like yesterday because that'd be so much fun. And Erica gets to choose if it's a day part, multiple day parts, whatever part she wants. That is so awesome. So at the party, Lisa Vanderpump finally runs into Eileen and Lisa Rinna, and it is super awkward. And for whatever reason, Lisa Vanderpump is still salty about last season, and she made no hesitation in, I guess, making subtle jabs at Lisa Rinna the whole time. And it didn't look like Lisa Rinna took the bait or really responded in any way, but it looked like Lisa Vanderpump was really trying to get a reaction out of her because she kept digging and poking and poking and poking. And when she spoke to when she spoke to Eileen, Eileen was very gracious. Hi, how are you? Like, no sign of animosity or rancor or anything. So Lisa Vanderpump just walked off. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully they'll put it behind them, come up with some new drama for this season so we don't have to rehash Dubai again. So Lisa Vanderpump just told Dorit that she said hello to Eileen and Eileen was cold to her. I didn't get that impression. Did y'all get that impression? It sounded like Eileen seemed happy to see her. She's, hi. I mean, really, Lisa's just starting drama, I think. And I'm going to say it. Put it out there right now. I think she's starting drama. And the birthday gifts keep on coming for good old Erica Jane. Now, Boy George likes her, knows who she is, wants to do a song with her or something like that. That is awesome. That's nice. Erica's mom came to the party. That's kind of. I'm really curious to know why she wasn't invited or where is she that she was a surprise. Because I'm thinking, I mean, Erica was excited to see her, which is great. But I'm very curious now to know the backstory. Like, where'd she come from? Why wasn't she always going to be a part of that party? It didn't like they don't have money to fly her wherever she came from. So I'm very curious to learn more about Miss Erica Jane. They've kind of kept her under wraps all last season. I mean, Erica is excited that her mom is there. She is showing her off. She's introducing her to everybody. Like, did her mom just get out of prison? Like, really, what is going on? I really want to know. I mean, that's great that she gave us a little bit of backstory about her mom being a young mom and a single mom and her dad leaving at 19, or when Erica was 9 months old, I mean. But, really, I really am very curious. Like, where has her mother been that she is acting like she hasn't seen this lady in 20 years? How weird there's no food at this party. Like, why is it taking so long to get out? I mean, Lisa Vanderpump has said more than once that she's starving. Ken said he's starving. PK said he's starving. I mean, honestly, they have a person serving drinks. They should have somebody coming around with hors d'oeuvres or some kind of snack. Like, that's kind of bizarre, right? I mean, Erica seems super focused on cocktails, but do you really want a bunch of drunk people on your lawn with no food in their stomach? I mean, honestly. Well, Lisa Vanderpump has no love for Eileen. They're at the bar trying to get a drink, and Lisa Vanderpump's turning her back on Eileen, just not speaking to her, just giving her the cold shoulder. So her intro said something about forgiveness or forgiving her enemies, but maybe that comes later in the season because not the first episode. We're not really seeing that forgiveness yet, Miss Vanderpump. So we'll stay tuned to see if it surfaces. So that's it. The end of the episode. Everyone's dancing, having a good time. Lisa Vanderpump is off to the side, and PK convinces her to go join the others. So she gets up there. She starts dancing. Maybe this is the turning point. She decides she's not going to back down. She's going to join them and have a good time. They're not kicking her out of the group. So that is the end of the episode. And I honestly feel like it was the longest episode of my life. But it's just the first one. So, there's a lot of setting up and getting people introduced, and it's kind of slow. I'm sure next week the action will be coming because this show is usually really, really good. So anyway, that's it, guys. Comment down below. I want to hear what you thought about this episode. And are you excited the show is back? I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel so you will not miss any of my reviews. I'll see you the next time.